Hi, everybody. Mark Bertig with Cambria Heights head coach Jarrod Lewis from Conemaugh Valley High School's USIC Stadium on Heritage Conference Media Day. And our report brought to you by Luther Ford Lincoln in Homer City. Luther Ford's proud to bring you the Luther Ford Coaches Corner every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 on WDAD AM 1450, FM 100.3, and online at WDADradio.com since 1969. Coaches Corner, an Indiana County tradition presented by Luther Ford. And Coach, you come off of another successful season last year, 8-4 overall, but as my friend and longtime IUP voice Jack Benedict says, that was then and this is now, right?
Yep, absolutely. So, we had a good season last year, but, all eyes are looking forward this year. I'm really excited about the kids. Worked really hard this offseason. I really thought we've had they've really bought in. This is probably as hard as any team that I've ever coached is as hard as I've had a team work. So I'm definitely proud of that. And we're looking forward to our first game this year, which is Purchase Line.
You'll return 5 starters offensively, 6 defensively. Like some other teams, and that's normally the case, you're going to have to find a way to replace some guys that did heavy lifting. Quarterback, linebacker Ty Stockley, who had good numbers rushing for 938, passing for about 600 despite a kind of an injury-plagued part of the season. And Tanner Tribus, 1,341 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns. Let's start there. I would assume Isaac Whelan will be the incumbent quarterback.
Yeah, he's the guy that stepped in for Ty when he went down last year, and he performed very well. As far as replacing Ty and Tanner's production, we're going to rely on about 5 or 6 guys. We have Stephen Nealon and Trey Tribus, which is Tanner's brother, who will be factoring into that. Marshall Leckenroad, Luke Mulraney. In addition to that, Jackson Klein, and obviously Isaac as well, and Hunter Nealon. So we have a number of guys. We're hoping that between those 5 or 6 guys that they'll be able to make up for that production we lost with those 2 guys, which hopefully will make us a little bit more difficult to defend, having 5 or 6 guys and all touching the ball and having their hands on the ball.
Ty Stockley, a lot of folks, of course, look at the skill people offensively, but wow, he was something on defense, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best defensive players I've ever coached. He was just a kid that always seemed to be around the ball, was a great blitzer, was good in coverage, and just had, 100 tackle season 3 straight years. So obviously that's going to be something that's difficult for us to replace. But, we have 6 guys coming back on defense. We have a number of other guys that had a lot of snaps on defense. So those guys I know had roles, and they won expanded roles this year. So how they fill those roles will probably determine how we are defensively. But, returning some guys with some experience, even though it may not be starting, should definitely help us.
Jarrod, this will be your 3rd year in the Heritage Conference. You've gone 18-6 your first 2 seasons. How good has this conference been for Cambria Heights football?
It's been great, but I was telling everybody, this has been the most difficult time I've ever had filling out a preseason poll, just because I really think everybody in this league this year is really solid. I think that it's going to be a situation where teams are really going to have to week to week. It's going to be how healthy you are, how well you execute, how well you take care of the football, and that's exciting. I think that adding teams like Portage, adding Conemaugh Valley, adding Conemaugh Township, that's made this conference stronger, and then the teams that have perennially been in there just continue to get better as well. So it's gonna be tough, top to bottom. You're gonna have to battle each week, and that's obviously, as a team, that's what you want. We want our kids to compete. We want our kids to have to compete each week to be successful.
Can you give me a name or two, maybe newcomers that may be moving up either as freshmen to sophomores, or maybe even somebody direct from junior high that you think can really help you, and names to look for this year?
Yeah, I think we have a couple guys. We have James Holtz, who's going to be a sophomore this year, and we're excited about what he's going to bring to the table. He's a kid that has had a great offseason, and we're looking forward to that.
Position?
And he plays offensive and defensive line. I'm sorry. Yep. And then another guy that I think that got injured early for us last year was Tristan Weekland, and we're really excited about what Tristan's going to bring to the table. He was a kid that played defensive end but got hurt in, I think, week 2 or 3 and was out the rest of the year. He's had a great offseason. He's somebody we're excited about. So he's kind of new to the scene, I guess, a little bit, with considering he hasn't had that much experience because he got injured. But he's a quality player. I think those 2 names are somebody that definitely be kids to watch.
Give me one thing that gives you hope for the season, and maybe on the other side of the coin, things that concern you.
Yeah, I think what gives me hope is just how hard we've worked, and how we have a strong junior class, a strong, pretty decent sophomore class, a strong freshman class. It looks like, those numbers are growing, and just the amount of kids who played last year who are going to be coming back give us hope. The thing that concerns you, obviously, is the fact that you only have 4 seniors. Only really one of those guys has stepped on the field. So any way you look at it, we're going to be lacking senior leadership this year. We love, Alex and Hunter and Jimmy and Caleb. Those are our 4 seniors are going to provide leadership. We have a couple kids coming out as first-year seniors, so that's exciting. But at the end of the day, when you're in the past couple of years, we've had 10 seniors or 12 seniors, and when you're only dealing with 4, it's going to require a lot of those underclassmen to step up. And I know that they're excited to do that, but that's also going to require a challenge as well.
Speaking of challenges, you'll get one in your scrimmage. It's probably the one thing I don't like about the new format with the 12 teams is maybe some great regular season matchups are going to go by the wayside, and I think Heights and United Valley would be one of them, and you'll scrimmage them and not play them in the regular season.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're going to be a quality team. They return a lot this year, so they're going to be. That should give us a good measuring stick of how we have performed this offseason and what the season's looking like. Because I think they're going to be one of the top teams. I think Kevin obviously always does a great job there, and they have a lot of returning players, so they should be definitely a solid team.
All right, Coach, you've been a real credit, you and your program, to the Heritage Conference. Always good seeing you. I won't have to, at least during the regular season, I'll have your game at Homer Center on September 29th. I just checked my cheat sheet here. Yep. So it'll be good to see you again. We wish you the best of luck between now and then if I don't see you sooner.
All right, thank you. Thanks for everything you guys do. Appreciate it.
Head coach Jarrod Lewis of the Cambria Heights Highlanders, 11th season, you said? 13th season at Cambria Heights. Brought to you by Luther Ford Lincoln. Go with the winner. Go with Luther Ford in Homer City, previewing the Highlanders. I'm Mark Bertig on Renda Digital TV.